As smoke billows in the aftermath of the grand jury decision, newly released documents are shedding light into what happened on August 9th when Officer Darren Wilson shot and killed Michael Brown.
It's a complicated chain of events that occurred in rapid-fire succession.
At 11:53 that morning, a 911 call of a theft at a convenience store.
25, it's going to be a black male in a white t-shirt. He's running toward Quick Trip. He took a whole box of Swisher cigars.
Surveillance video purports to show 18-year-old Michael Brown taking cigars. At first, an officer can't find the person in a white t-shirt. Then
he's with another male. He's got a red Cardinals hat, white t-shirt, yellow socks, and khaki shorts.
According to Wilson's grand jury testimony, he stops Brown on Canfield Drive because he was walking in the middle of the street with a friend, Dorian Johnson. Wilson said when he told the two to move to the sidewalk, Brown replied with an expletive. The documents reveal Wilson noticed Brown had a handful of cigars and, quote, "That's when it clicks for me that the men were suspects in the theft." Wilson said when he tried to open the door of his SUV, Brown slammed it back shut. When he tried to open it again, Wilson said that's when Brown hit him in the face. In the documents, Wilson said he drew his gun for safety, but Brown grabbed it and said, "You're too much of an expletive to shoot me." Shots are fired. Brown flees and Wilson gives chase. At some point, Brown turned to face the officer. The grand jury heard conflicting witness accounts about whether Brown walked, stumbled, or charged back toward Wilson before he was fatally wounded. There were also differing accounts on whether Brown's hands were raised. Brown's friend Johnson claims Wilson initially grabbed Brown by the neck and engaged in a tug of war. Johnson said he never saw Brown punch Wilson and didn't think he grabbed the officer's gun. After starting to run and then stopping, Johnson's testimony says at that time Big Mike's hands went up, but not so much in the air because he had been struck.
There's several more units over here. There's going to be a problem.
Michael Brown's body would lie in the street for hours. Wilson later leaves the police station for an examination at the hospital where photos are taken of his face and neck.
It is unusual to see a police officer charged either on the local or federal level for using force. Provided that the officer can show that he believed himself to be at risk of imminent bodily harm.
Ultimately, the grand jury sided with Officer Wilson's account, sparking riots in the streets of Ferguson. Still, Wilson faces possible federal charges as the Justice Department moves forward with its own civil rights investigation. Robert Bumstead, Associated Press.